Hello, I'm Joseph. I want to start this. I think the answer is no, but I don't know some of you super well, so I'm just gonna ask it. Has anyone here ever done a show at LaSalle?
Yeah, I have.
No one? Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be, but I've done more shows at LaSalle than I have anywhere else. I've done more shows at LaSalle than any kid that's currently in LaSalle drama, and except for like my sisters, because they did it too. And so LaSalle has this thing where they do it. It's called a senior prayer, and I've seen so many of them being like a little kid in like a bunch of shows there, and I always like looked up to them like I want to do that when I'm up there and I'm a senior at LaSalle doing LaSalle drama. Like my entire like grade school childhood, I always looked up to it. But I went to St. X, and I'm never gonna get to do one. And so I thought for my fall cast mass, for my spring cast mass, I could do the TX traditions, but for my fall, I'm gonna do is my senior prayer. And it's not like religious at all. It's I'm not gonna go ahead and explain all of the traditions in it to you, but the point is there's like a very like small like guidelines people just tend to do, and then people can just make it their own. One of the most important things is that they hand out something to everybody in like the cast and crew that is like, you know, here. And you can go through and like talk about it. And so what I've decided to do is like my special thing is I'm gonna go through and I'm going to all of the shows that I've been in here. This is my 8th show at TX. I'm gonna say if this was your first show, come up and get a flower. And then I'm going to talk about a specific person from that specific show that was really meaningful to me, and they're gonna get a white flower. And I'm gonna be honest, most of the people that I'm gonna be talking about that are important, a very important part of senior prayer is honoring like the past, you know, people that aren't here anymore. Most people that are gonna get these white flowers, I'm just gonna hold up here and be like, this flower is for TX past. And so yeah, that's kind of how this is gonna go. And you know, as people get along, you'll be holding your red flower, and you know, it'll grow, and more people will have one, and you know, the things that I'm talking about will become more relatable, and more people have experienced it, and by the end, it'll be all of us. And so, I'd like anybody, and I say anybody, but I'm gonna hold 2 flowers up here, that was in Lives of the Saints, to come get a flower. We're old.
This is true.
Love you guys. That was my first show here, and this white flower is for Luke Faye. Luke, I'm gonna cry a lot during this. Luke was amazing. He was like a big brother to me, and I met him the summer before my freshman year when I did Tarzan at Mercy McCauley. And the first day of school, he texted me, Hunter, and Noah Jeffries, hey, come like sit outside by like outside the Jesuit residence with us, and like this is where the theater people are, at the first day of school. And I met like Alex Lopez and Xavier and Jack Bunch, and like we ate for our first ever lunch in high school there. And I love Luke so much. He was my scene partner in that show, and you know, he really means a lot to me. I haven't, you know, talked to him in a while. You know, he's in college now. He started his own theater group because at UC, people who aren't majoring in theater can't do the shows. So he started his own group, and like that Jack Bunch is in it with him, and they just did Macbeth, and it's like a huge thing now. Like, it's awesome. And I love him so much. And so, even though you're not here anymore, this is white flowers for Luke. And now this is going to be a little bit awkward one because this is a show I didn't do. But I know there are people here whose first show was Singing in the Rain. So I don't have a white flower from someone from the show, but it is important to honor the people who it was their first show. So, if the first time your show you were ever in was Singing in the Rain, come get a flower. I wasn't in the show. Hunter and I, we left, and we had fun elsewhere. That was the only show in TX that has happened while I'm here that I did not partake in. But the next thing that I'll be talking about is in the summer, because there's no one here. The summer shows, no one has it as their first show. But we did Playlist. We went to Edinburgh, Scotland, and we performed Playlist. There's not a lot of people here that were there for that.
It was a great show. You should have seen it.
It was interesting.
That was another.
I think there's like 2 people that were in it. But for this show, I almost consider it like the whole trip, like the entire like trip to Scotland and London. And the white flower for this one is gonna go to Leighton Curley, because during that process, and I know the thing is, I think 2-3 people here know her, and that's so sad because she was awesome. She was a senior when I was a freshman, and she came that trip to London, and her, Luke, and Nora Daly really like took me under their wing, and I like became like a little brother to all them. Like I love them so much. Like, I have a group chat with them, like telling them about like the shows that we're doing nowadays, and like giving them like tea about the current TX stuff. And like they were there when I was begging Dr. Harrison Gabe to do Jesus Christ Superstar and the bus to Stratford upon Avon. You're welcome for all of that. And she really like helped me feel like I was like wanted in TX, because I was kind of a little shit as a freshman, and I was like bullied a lot by the like older like people in TX. It was a different time in TX. I love so much what TX has become now, but back then it was really separated. Like, yeah, you couldn't even go. I couldn't even go to girls' circle. I hated guys' circle. I wasn't allowed to go to girls' circle, so I created my own. I don't know how many people know about that. And so Leighton really like showed me that like the older kids like can care, and they can love you as well. So love you, Leighton. The next show I did was Romeo and Juliet. So there's gonna be more people that their first show is Romeo and Juliet. But I'd like to give all of you a hug as you're coming up and receiving your flower. So. Best friend. So, this is gonna be the first white flower that goes to someone that's actually currently here.
Whoa.
Eddie Knoll, you can like stand here while I'm like talking about it. You like stay here now. I'll just find the end. During Romeo and Juliet, you've been in every single TX show that I've been in. And this was your first time like in the cast, if you don't count like the summer. And you're shouting out there, Romeo. I was like, in like a weird mindset of that show. I love that show so much. Like that show was like beautiful for me to watch. So I had my entrances up at the top of this giant staircase, and I would sit up there and I would watch like what was going on. Like I would just watch the whole show from like my perch, as I called it. And Eddie and Xavier Carnicon would like come up there and sit with me and like watch the show with me. I remember like really like I already had known you. I known you since Bravo Basics, but like I remember really building a connection through the show, and you were a very, very important person to me, Eddie. Like even nowadays, outside of all like theater, like I called you almost every single day this summer just to hang out, play games. I remember the summer in between our freshman and sophomore year. We would call almost every single day and fish in Stardew Valley. It was the stupidest shit. That game sucks, but it was so fun. And you're really, really important to me, and you're one of my best friends in the whole world. And during Romeo and Juliet, I really got to see you shine. I really experienced that as a whole for the first time, and so I really appreciate that. I really love you. There you go. Love you. Thank you, Eddie. Okay. Well, and then there's Newsies. Is there really only one?
I know.
I was assuming there's gonna be so much more. Okay. There's a Newsies flower. The white flower for this one is gonna be a little, I don't know. It might become maybe a bit of a shock, but Caleb White, during Newsies was just like. I didn't really know him at all, and he's become like a huge staple at TX, obviously, at like the 3 shows that he did here. Everybody here knows him. He was Jesus. But before that, he was like, he was Charlie. He was like a kid that like just didn't really know any of us, and him and London would come, and like they would like only really talk to each other, and like me and Johan like started talking a lot, and I really, really formed a bond with him during that show. Like, I feel like then during the entirety of my junior year, I looked up to him so much. He was such a great guy. We would spend hours just talking during our free bells, like in the cars after rehearsal. And that's just like the moment that I like really, got to know him and got to be on stage with him for the first time. He has such a chill attitude about life, and I have taken so much of that, and he's inspired me to embody that in my own life and just, be chill and like, just be happy. And I really, really appreciate him for that. So I love you, Caleb. And the next show is Our Town. We got some movies up here. I don't know how many of you there are right here. We got 2 guys.
Guess I'm off The Bachelor.
No, you're still on it. That's why you took the flowers.
That's why you get the rose.
Oh, especially the rose, man.
He's never seen The Bachelor, apparently.
Okay, for Our Town, this is pretty similar to the Caleb one, but Carter. I became so close to them throughout this show. Our Town was a really, really beautiful show, and I love getting to watch it and be in my scenes. I love how my character grew. I started being in one scene, and by the end I had 3. I had 3 different acts. Gabriel just kept
pushed
giving me
over
shit.
God.
I did. Well, during that show process, Carter, I had already known him and been really close with him, but he really became what in my eyes and what I wrote about on his poster when he graduated was he became what Luke Fay was to me my freshman year. I loved him so much. I would hang out with him for hours. This summer, he did at the end of this last school it was around the time he when he was gonna go off to college. He came to St. X after school and drove us all around in his car for one last time and blared the music and stuff. And I haven't actually seen him since then. I've called him plenty of times, but he's off in college now. And a lot of people don't know is that after that, when everybody got dropped back off at their cars, I know people here were there, I sat in Carter's car with him for another hour almost, and we just talked and hugged and cried, because he's really so special to me. When you're a junior in high school, you build such a connection with the seniors that are there, and it's so hard to see them go. Caleb, Chance, and Carter were huge people to me. The 4 of us so many times would just be in Carter's car and just talk about millions of things. And I see it again, even though that bitch isn't here, Kenyon. I love that kid so much. And he reminds me of me last year with he's with me, Eddie, and Eric are his seniors, and he's just gonna be lost without him when we're gone. I love that kid so much. But this is for Carter. Love you, Carter. Okay. Was anybody here's first show Jesus Christ Superstar? No? We're all here before that? See, if there were crew kids here, there'd be more red flags.
Madison was here.
Yes, if Madison was.
Well, for this show, it's going to be a little bit different because I have 2 white flowers. And actually, funny enough, they're both here. We have to give that phone to Anna because Hunter and Chuck. Come here. So, the both of you are so special to me. And at Jesus Christ Superstar, I just remember I was my first show student directing. I love that show so much. That show's my favorite show in the world. And I feel we were the 3 little, leadership during the thing. We have our stage manager, student director, and choreographer. I remember going to Panera multiple times with Chuck and just before the show during the winter and talking about all our ideas for it and he gave me all this advice. He said get this moleskin notebook. It's what Harris and I have, and you'll be he gave you so much advice because he's been having a lot of leadership in the program before that, and just getting to experience that show with you guys, and getting to rant in homeroom about choreographer and a lot of other things about the show. Just I don't know, it was a really special time, and I feel I got so much closer with both of you. Obviously, I've known you for 4 years, but I've gotten so much closer with both of you during that, so I'd love to thank you. Oh, this was no one's first show, but parents. Parents was it was a other than the airport situation. Once we actually got to go on the trip, it was an awesome time. And
You're flying off the seat of the bus.
I'm so tired. But the flower for this one, I talked about it a little bit too much in the last one, well, in like the R-Town one, but Kenyan Bird, because this is the first time I'm giving a flower to someone younger than me. You know, it's more recent, like the shows are getting them more and passing it on. The trip to London, Scotland was sad. The trip to London was awesome, and I remember like such a beautiful group that we built up. Hello, the group that we had with me, Eddie, Gabrielle, and Kenyon. I don't know. I didn't really even know Gabrielle before that thing, but she's awesome. Like I really hope she comes back. I'd love to hang out with her more. But like. That group of like the four of us like sneaking out in like the streets of London at like 3 a.m. to like McDonald's and like seeing like that one guy about to get shanked like.
Yeah, there's this delivery driver on a bicycle and he got his bicycle taken away from him. There's like 4 people surrounding him.
They don't have guns in London, but he's nice. It was such a special time. We like just swiping on dating apps just for fun. I
remember that.
I'm so late and like just hanging out in my room. And you know, I love Ken and I've always loved him, but I really built a special bond with him during the trip. And even though that fucking whore isn't here, I would be giving him this flower if he was. But for that, yeah, I love Kenyon, and because of that trip, I'm so much closer to him now. Before we go to the current show, I need to give a flower to someone specific whose first show was R-Town that missed it. Sophia, I know you haven't been here this whole thing, but it doesn't matter, you get a flower. Okay. For everybody whose first show is You Can't Take It With You. See, now all these stories are going to become more relatable because as we go along, everyone's got a flower. Eric Salem, you're just amazing. I love you so much. And doing this show with you is like giving me so much passion because of how much you like love it and how much you care. And like, I love theater, but I've been doing it since I was like a fucking 2-year-old. Like, it gets old. Like, I don't get nervous before I haven't gotten nervous before I go on stage in years. Like, almost like the thrill of it is kind of gone. Like, I'm just doing it because it's like, yeah, I'm having a good time, I'm chilling. But like, seeing you, like, experience this, like, this is like, although you're the lead of the show, this is one of your first times being in cast. And like, when I was casting the show, like, before the show was announced, when I was begging Harris to do this show every single day, I was like, Eric, you'd be such a cute grandpa. Like, you'd be such an old man. And like, I remember when the cast list finally came out, I already know everything, but when the cast list finally came out, I was on a road trip with you and Eddie to Eddie's little lake house in Tennessee. And we were in the car and we were like so excited because you were grandpa, I'm Tony, and you get to fight with Eddie, and like Kenyon's my dad, and like all the casting was so perfect, and how like we were so excited for the show, and how awesome this whole process is gonna be, and like just seeing how excited you were just gave me so much like love and hope for this show again, and I really, really enjoyed doing the show process with you. You're a really, really awesome guy. And you should really, really consider OU for college because I love you.
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin. And, you know, there's so much more I could say, but I'm going to save that for future speeches. I love you. Eric, get the music ready.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so that is my big thing. I'm gonna send the video of this that Hunter's recording to all the people that got these flowers. And to end my senior prayer, at LaSalle, they always play at the end of their senior prayer a song that really like embodies their like time at like LaSalle drama. And but separately, as a different tradition, every show they listen to the song Starlight Express that was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber. And
That's not a good thing.
the show is just a funny show. You can't take it seriously. But this one specific song from it is so special. And the like lyrics in it like the main character is like about to like give up, and then like his father comes in and he's like, because like the Starlight Express in the show is almost like a god figure, and when like Rusty is like feeling like really down, like he can't do it anymore, his father comes in. It's like it's what's inside of you. It's somewhere deep inside of you. Like everything you have is in here. You don't need anything out there. And so Eric, you start playing it. Is the speaker
disconnected? No, wait.
Hold on. We're gonna pause for 1 second. Hold on. Is it connected? So at LaSalle, you can start playing it. At LaSalle, they do a tradition where they listen to this song before every show. It's not for their senior prayers. Nobody would pick this one for their senior prayers because they always listen to it together and like cry together anyway. But I don't get to do that here, and I've heard this song played at LaSalle. I saw the show with my family this summer, which was a really silly show. It's so special to us because my parents met and started dating as juniors in high school in LaSalle drama. And all my sisters like have gone through it, have gone to other schools and done it. I haven't done it in high school because I went here, but I did it so much as a kid. And this is just a really, really special song to me. I'm gonna come around and give y'all hugs.
What is this?
That's what we're doing.
Thank you.